Hey guys, Rob from Georgia here with you, aka VHS82 apostrophe, with episode I think it's 12 of Something Weird, Just a Thought. And today is just that, a thought. I want to talk physical media and the state of, depending on who you are, where you're at, what you even think about this, how happy you are, either with or not having that behind you in terms of the amount of physical media, whether it's VHS, Blu-ray, DVD, 4K. Perhaps it's even a stash of Laserdisc, man, from back in the day, or Beta for that matter. Never hear anyone talk about Beta. But look, we talk about this a lot, and some of the conversation, at least some of us at BodyBags, I think some of it was stirred up a little bit by this. Here in Evil Dead Rise, this wasn't even supposed to have a physical media release initially. It wasn't supposed to go theatrical. It does because, Warner Brothers realized last minute, holy crap, we got a movie, let's get it to the theater. Well, then what are we going to do about the physical media release? Well, we got to put it on something. Well, so we do get it, albeit with no extras at all because they weren't prepped for it. And even though Weta has their hands on the practicals in here, I believe it's Weta. It was shot in New Zealand. Pretty sure Weta was part of that. There's so much you could have done. Commentaries. I would love to see a Rami Tapper Campbell commentary track on just this, just in terms of the broader vision they have, or would love to see this go. But in the UK, the release of this, you have Lee Cronin's commentary track and his short film included. But they just didn't prep for it. But this is better. I'll say that's better than this. Now, what is this? Compliments of my buddy Glenn, our Monday reviewer at BodyBags. This is, I guess, a pirated, bootlegged copy, which I have to say there was a day when I would have just looked at you straight in the eye and not want to have a conversation about that. In light of the advent of streaming services and platforms like Netflix that refuse, or at least seemingly are refusing, to place their stuff in physical media, how do you release the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, regardless of what you think of it? I don't even care. What I care about is it's part of a greater franchise. There are collectors out there. There are people who are completists who are probably going out of their mind that they have every Texas Chainsaw film in their collection, but they don't have this one. And unless you got it bootlegged, or there is a place, I don't know if I dare say it out loud, reach out to me. I'll tell you, there is a place I'm thinking of via Glenn that does deal in this kind of stuff. But, I'm with Glenn, man. Look, if you're Netflix and you refuse to put something out, I have no problem with this. I have no problem with this being on my shelf because I get to see it anytime I want to see it without having to go finding my way onto Netflix and finding it. Now, I'll grant it, if this ever does come out in a physical media release, a professional release, a real release, I will get it. I will buy it in 2 seconds to have it on my shelf. I have no problem buying physical media, as you can see. But, we live in this world where it's becoming frighteningly more, I don't know, we just don't know where it's going. I think, and why is that? It can't be for the lack of people not buying. When you think of all the boutique labels out there, Arrow and 88 Films, Indicator, Scream Factory, Arrow. If I think long enough, there's plenty to. There are plenty out there. There is a thriving buying horror film community out there, and if you're region free, you can buy all around the world, as I can and have done. I'm just thinking, I think I bought this off the UK site. And this is second sight release of, really it's the 4K release of the wonderful Anchor Bay edition of all the films, the variations, the Argento cut, theatrical, extended, whatnot. But, it's that second sight, I'm pretty sure it's second sight. Why does it matter? It matters because, if you remember the video nasties, the whole UK experiment on banning films, a lot of it is it is control. It's control. People want to control what we consume. Now, in the midst of the video nasties movement, they didn't like the idea that somebody could, somebody has this in their hands and they have the ability of pausing, rewind, watch again, pause, rewind, watch again, pause, rewind, watch. They didn't like that idea that people had something like this. Albeit back then it would have been, VHS, like this beauty, stage right, Imperial release back in the day. This is how, well, it would have been in a white case, I'm sure, from the video store that I went to, but I'm 53, okay? So, I mean, I saw the rise and the fall of the video store as we knew it back in the day. But it was about, they didn't want you to have the ability over in the UK of being able to, look, I just reviewed for my Italy's Holocaust, The New York Ripper by Lucio Fulci. They didn't want you to have a copy of that at all, period. In fact, they just kicked that back to Italy. They didn't even release it in the UK, even with cuts, not until they, was it 12, I think, maybe? Somebody can correct me. But it was streaming. It's not much different. They want, look, when Netflix makes a movie like this and puts it out on their streaming platform, but they won't release it, it's about control in the end. It's about wanting you to go to Netflix first to watch the film. Whereas if you had a copy on your shelf, sorry for the pause, if you had a copy on your shelf, you just put it on whenever you want to put it on. Now, look, as far as equipment, I lucked out, got a new 55-inch the other day, and thankfully it still had the red, white, yellow, I think it is, plugins for the VCR. I still run a VCR down here. I have one upstairs. The brand new TV upstairs, which is a 4K TV, does not have the plugins for that, and I got to get an adapter at some point, an HDMI adapter for that. But I lucked out with this one a few days ago, and it had it, even though the guy was selling to me said they weren't on there. They were, in fact, on there, thank God. I don't fault the guy at all as much, although it was Best Buy. They're supposed to know their craft a little bit more than, say, Walmart. But nothing against, if anyone out there is watching this that works at Walmart, I don't mean anything about that at all. But it's about control, man. They want to control, and ultimately, if they could look, what was it? Okay, so you go into my Best Buy. Some of my Best Buys have pretty much all but got rid of their physical media. Jason was telling me that his Goodwills up there have all but got rid of their physical media, their VHS tapes. That's kind of like been down there for a while. The Targets here are getting rid of their physical media. I have one Target that I've gone into before, and they've all but got rid of the whole thing. It's just gone. There's a Best Buy not too far from me that's got rid of it all. Now there's another Best Buy, though, that still has it. My Walmart, thankfully, still has a bit of physical media in there, although not much of a 4K. It's pretty much just a slim little tiny area for the 4K. It wasn't always like that. I remember I got stuff on my shelf I could pull off that I bought at Sam's Club back in the day when Sam's Club sold physical media, which I can't, it's been years. But, we've had a revival of vinyl. There's boutique labels galore. You can go on Amazon UK, Amazon Germany, Amazon Italy, Amazon whatever. If you have a region-free player, you can buy around the world. People do buy around the world. Just locally here, you can buy Amazon, obviously. Thrift stores, for me, it's Second and Charles, CD Warehouse, places like that, where you can go in and just get piles of movies and stuff. Those places are still, flourishing to a degree. Physical media is alive. Theatrical viewings are alive. Throwback viewings are alive. I mean, you can, I've thankfully, because of that, I've seen Lucio Fulci's Zombie on the big screen. I've seen Halloween on the big screen. I've seen The Thing on the big screen. I've seen, Phantasm remastered on the big screen. How much fun is that? And now they've incorporated the orchestra element to that. My point is, I don't understand the forces that be that are out there pushing for an end. And unfortunately, unless you live in a house like me, our house, my children, we down here is beautiful. Now we got this big TV. We put on Critters last night. And down here, because there's no real access to any outside light, it is literally pitch black in here. And so we really had a cool movie night last night watching Critters, just me and the boys, man, sitting on the couch over here. And that was a lot of fun. But it's about grabbing something, look, it's like Cauldron's release of City of the Living Dead. I think it's my number one horror film of all time. It's great, because the score comes with it. You got a slew of extras. I love watching the extras. The making of things. A lot of times with varying releases, it's carryover stuff. Sometimes it's brand new stuff. Whatever it may be. So, I don't know. It's just, I guess I'm just gonna, bring it down to this point. I know what it's like to walk into a video store and rent a pile of VHS tapes. That's where I got to, know about Italian cinema, the Fulcis, the Argentos, the Babas of the world, right? In fact, there go my littles right now, or rampaging somewhere. I know what it's like. At 53, I see it seems like this never-ending struggle or tension between, we just want you to stream, so we're in control of what you're streaming, and will stream, versus having the freedom that is behind me up on shelves, the ability to put on anything and anything you want as long as you have it, and watch it without being inundated ideologically with, being pummeled with commercials. Not every streaming site is like that, obviously, but when you Hulu, you've got the forced upon you commercials. When you have physical media, it's just about putting that tape in, that DVD in, that Blu-ray in, that 4K in, and watching without your mind being pummeled by the latest ideological faddish trend. And it just, when I want to watch a movie, I just want to watch a movie. I just want to put the movie in and watch it. And nothing is, for film viewers, probably, VHS tapes are like vinyl, man. It's like it has that own unique, I don't know. I don't ever want to lose that ever. And my children, I'm glad, they're seeing it every day. They come down in here to play on the PS4 or whatever. They're seeing it. And I'm stressing home all the time the importance of being able to grab something and hold on to it, and it's yours. The one thing I do not agree with is downloading movies. Look, I have one movie I've downloaded. It was $5. It was, I think it was, I can't think of the right, Mutango, or Attack of the Mushroom People, I think it is. It's a hard, very rare film to find on physical media. Just caught it up there on Amazon, and they were selling it, digitally for $5. I grabbed it, man, just so I could watch it. Now, I know very well, though, I've heard the horror stories. At any time, I could lose it, and it's gone. Short of a catastrophe in this house, I'm not losing these. Okay, they're not going anywhere. Again, short of a catastrophe, which, I rebuke that thought. I don't know what I'd do if I would have lost everything. But I don't want to see it to go. I don't want to see physical media go. I grew up with it. I'm going to cling to it. And I'm going to make sure my kids understand the value of it. And I don't want someone else in control of what I watch. I want me. I am in control. I don't ever want to know what it's like to go through a video nasties type time when people start yanking things off the shelf, banning things because of this, because of that, and whatever. We're all grown-ups. We can choose what we decide to consume, and that's the way it ought to be. And as good parents, we ought to be doing that with our children. Anyways, short of getting my foot lodged deep into the carcass of this horse. I'm just end there. So I don't know. What do you think? How many of you guys out there are physical media nuts? Are seeing the same thing? Don't want it to go? Are in dread of that day when you walk into a store and you just can't buy anything anymore. You have to do it online. Maybe that's when we see a Arrow store suddenly emerge, or a Scream Factories. How awesome would that be to walk into an actual store that is Scream Factory and all they have is Scream Factory related stuff? Awesome would that be? I mean, I don't know. It's my gripe for today. Physical media, the state of which. And again, look, think about how many completists are out there who have the entire franchise on their shelf, but they don't have this one. They can't have this one because Netflix says you can't at the moment. I can't see why they would change their mind anytime too soon. And that's just the state we're in right now. And it's kind of sad, actually. But anyways, that's my gripe for something weird, just a thought. As always, we end these things off with Go Bills.